A story about a 17th century monk. And his story is really awesome. I mean, he fought in the 30 Years' War. He was over in France. And at 18, it says that he was converted to Christianity. And then at 24, he decided to go in and he went to a monastery. He became a monk. And he served. He just served people. He was crippled because of an incident that had happened to him while he was serving as a soldier. He was crippled the rest of his life. But this book was talking about how that he became so in love with connecting to God, and that's what it was for him, that he started working at connecting in every little thing that he did. When he swept the floor, he did it in a way to connect. When he washed dishes, he did it in a way to connect. Now, at the time that I was coming into contact with this story, I understood God in a completely different way. God was very external to me. And when you wanted to talk about practicing the presence of God, to me, that was something out here, something that you would feel, something that would move you emotionally. And I even read portions of this book, and at the time, it exhausted me. I just thought, oh my goodness, can you even imagine? I mean, I got 4 kids to take care of. I can't even get my thoughts in. I'm doing this for you, God. You know, I'm doing this to please you. You know, in my mind, that's what it was about. Later on, I went back to that story, years later, and I went back to that story, and I started to really understand what he was truly doing. It was really about an awareness of his connection. That's all it was. It wasn't contrived. It wasn't an exercise that he did. And he explained it really simply. He said, you know, at first, you have to work at it a little bit. And why is that? Because we are not naturally inclined to be aware of this connection that we have. We are so used to seeking it outside of ourselves. We are so used to going somewhere else to get this feeling of relief. And he said, so you have to work at it a little bit at first. But then you become aware of the love. You become aware of what real love is. And we've had a chance to talk about this Wednesday nights. We get to connect in an intimate setting. And we've gotten to talk about love and what love is. And love is not a feeling, and love is not a thought. Love is this place. It is this frequency. It's a vibe, you know? And when you get into it, nothing else matters. Everything just melts away. And that is available to us right now. And so if there's anything I could share with you guys today is, number one, I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like to feel like I just want a minute alone. I just want a minute. And what's interesting to me now in my life is that I feel this more and more often. I feel this more and more often where it's like I can't go weeks and I can't go months before I feel like I need a connection. This is a daily thing for me. Daily, I feel like I need to go away. You know, daily, I got to go somewhere. I got to get, even if it's my backyard, you know, I need to get centered again. I need to feel this feeling. It feels good. It becomes an addiction almost when you start feeling that connection and that peace in your life. And it's like everything starts to make sense. And I started realizing places in my life, it's like, oh, okay, I can start identifying when my battery is running low. You know, when your battery starts running low, a lot of things start going on with you. First of all, your thoughts start going crazy, really. You start having all these thoughts and thinking about how you got to do this and you got to do that, and you get wrapped up in your mind on what is in front of you. You are future focused. You're not right here, right now. If that starts happening to you in the day, you need to know I'm operating on low power mode right now. I need a minute. I need a minute to connect. You start having feelings. Feelings start coming up. Maybe you have some fear. Maybe you start feeling anxiety. Maybe you start feeling a little bit of frustration. Maybe you start feeling a little bit of anger or resentment or things like when those feelings that you know don't serve you in any way, if you start having those thoughts and those feelings, I'm going to let you know right now, low power mode, your yellow light is flashing, okay? It's time to take a minute and breathe and connect. That's just what is going on. The other thing that happens to us when we are out of connection is, and I know this to be true in my life, we start putting action plans together. because things in our life that we desire aren't coming to us the way that we think that they should. And so we are like, oh, I need to do something. I got to do something. And so we start taking responsibility for some things and start trying to make it happen. And when you are operating in that way, I'm going to tell you right now, you're like 5% battery. Because what's going to end up happening is frustration ensues, roadblocks pop up, little things happen, obstacles come up because you're disconnected. Now, here's the thing, and this is really important. You can never be disconnected from your source. Even though these things that I'm telling you come up and I'm telling you that's an indication to you that you're not connected, I don't mean that you've unplugged from the cord. What I mean is you have become unaware of your connection. Your awareness needs to be brought back to your truth, which is, I'm connected. I'm never disconnected. Colossians says that we were separate from God, that we were separate and enemies in our mind. It was here all the time. It wasn't in what we were doing. Our actions were the result of our thoughts. The separation that we have ever felt, if you have ever felt like God has abandoned you, if that has ever come up in your life, I promise you, it's all going on up here. There is no way for you to be separated from the source of everything, the source of all life, the source of all love. You cannot be separate from it. If you feel disconnected, you have turned off your awareness to the truth of who you are. All it takes is going, I know what's going on right now. I'm having these feelings. I'm feeling like I can't breathe. I'm feeling like this is going on. I know what has happened. I've shut my mind off to the awareness of who I am. I don't have to operate like this. The truth is, I live in a state of constant flow. That's why I am the same as the waterfall. That's why I don't have to go to the waterfall to be refreshed. I don't have to go there to feel like I have some peace. That peace exists in me because it's supposed to be flowing out of me in rivers of living water. Or in other words, everything that comes out of me and everything that it touches, it brings life to. That is the connection that we have all the time. We're the ones who turn it on and off. So connection is about awareness. Ultimately,